and having to worry about who's going to be your guy. But we also feel good, in the guys we have behind him. And Billy Edwards is a guy that stepped up with tremendous leadership this offseason. He's shown us that he can win games as well, and we've got to continue to build depth there at the quarterback position.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Coach Loxley, he mentioned how the Maryland offense is going to still be the Maryland offense. So when you come in, is it more just adding your own little wrinkles to it, or what sort of is it going to look like here? It's going to be.
That's a great question. This system I learned from him, and so really it's more so maybe adding a wrinkle back that we had before. I've gone on to run this system, the last 4 years. And it was a variation of what we all learned in 2018 at Alabama, as Mike Loxley being the offensive coordinator there. And so, I made a comment yesterday, well, Coach, this is how we did it back in 18 when you taught it to me. So, the familiarity in this system makes it unique for me as a coordinator because it's not a wholesale teaching or learning. And in fact, there's things that, I'm learning now that, we may have done a little bit differently in the past. And so we want all the learning to be on the coaches, not necessarily the learning on the kids. And when we can do that and eliminate the thinking for the kids, they can play fast and play confident. And so the system has been laid, the foundation has been laid for this system, and now we'll find different creative little wrinkles that we can add to it to help our kids be in position to be successful.
Are you a guy that more like adapts to the personnel, or it's straight like you want to do 50-50 run pass?
I think you always adapt to your personnel. You adapt to your head coach's personality, and Coach Loxley is one that he wants to benefit the playmakers. He wants to be able to put the ball in the position of our best players, and so he's always his thought process is how does he get the best players in football. And when you have a head coach who's an offensive head coach who's had so much success calling it as an offensive coordinator, you want to try to build around the things that your players do well. So that's one thing that I've always learned from him, and that's something that I learned from him when I was able to watch him call plays in the system. And so being able to carry that experience over as a coordinator, I think helps you out a lot.
Obviously, beginning your first spring here, how did the job kind of come to fruition for you here?
Yeah, we, obviously the job came open. I saw Coach Eno's leave, and at the time, me and Coach Loxley was talking quite a bit. And when I got let go at the end of January, the first person that actually reached out to me was Coach Loxley, and that's our friendship. We talked quite a bit, and it wasn't about the job. And in fact, we were talking 3 or 4 weeks before we even mentioned the job. And, he invited me to come up and, just kind of get away, get a little football taste. And when I came up here, I was blown away walking into the facility, first and foremost. I mean, this is the most beautiful facility I've been a part of. And I've been fortunate to work in some really nice places, but to see the commitment that has been made here, to football. And so you've seen the success that, they've been able to build here the last few years, going to multiple bowl games and having the type of seasons, it really injected energy and excitement in me. And, I told him at the time, if he was okay with it, I'd like to come back and spend a couple more days, and then it just eventually grew into that opportunity. But, it goes back to relationships and the relationship I have with Coach Loxley. No one's been more important in my career over the last few years than him. The things that he's done behind the scenes, leading the coalition, things that, he's done for me, behind the scenes for potential head coaching opportunities. He's done a lot, and we've kept a very, very close relationship. And so when the opportunity presented itself, it was a no-brainer for me.
Gotcha. And I'm just curious, obviously with Kevin Sumlin having co-OC tag, and you talked about it's going to be Loxley's system, Loxley's personnel. So I guess with you calling plays, how does maybe all of that kind of balance out, or do you feel like there's still kind of room to grow in terms of kind of delegating all those kind of assignments towards the end?
Yeah, our whole offensive staff is going to have input on what we do. We've got some tremendous coaches. I like to say, we've all been around success before. When you look at some of the success our guys have been around, it's rare to be in those shoes. Coach Sumlin is a guy that, he's coached Heisman winners. Yeah. He's put together some elite offenses. And then, for me specifically, I'm excited about having Coach Brewer, just not having to be with the wide receivers, a guy who's developed wide receivers at an elite level. And so that allows us to be very creative in how we playing out the roles as our offensive staff. But this system is exactly going to stay the same. This system is laid here. The foundation is here. It's not up to our players to learn a new system. It's up for our coaches to learn the system. And it helps me having learned the system under Coach Loxley previously before when he was the coordinator. And I worked under him, but now it's about catching the rest of our coaches up. And so we've got a great staff. I'm very fortunate about our offensive staff. And the thing that I'm excited about now is the chemistry of our offensive staff is very, very high. And I think that helps with the familiarity and the respect that we have for each other as coaches.
As someone who's seen Maryland from the outside, now the inside, what are some things that you think you can kind of bring in and know, obviously, that Maryland needs to do to take that next thing?
Well, I think I don't know if it's necessarily something I would bring in, but I think now our kids have a sense of belief. I think when they look back at the success they've had the last 2 years, and even in the times when they didn't have success, how close they were to success. I think just giving them that breath of confidence and belief and knowing that, we can take the next step because the foundation has been laid. You've seen the success, and I don't know if anyone would have guessed the success would have happened this fast when Coach Loxley first took over this program. But you can feel it in the air, and you can feel the confidence of our players, and so, we're excited. Obviously, as a new staff and the staff that we have, it gives them a sense of confidence in what Coach Loxley is building. When he can put together a staff of this caliber and have a Coach Sumlin, Coach Scott coming on board, myself, the kids believe in it because they know he's got this program going in the right direction. And so, we're looking to make this a partnership, all of us working all together to pull the rope in the right direction and continue to take this next step and build on what has already been built.